Welcome everyone. Another Market Blitz video. We got some good trades running. We're in Aussie CAD from yesterday. It's running nicely. We're in Euro Yen. That running flat is still in progress. And we'll cover some other stuff, right? Run down the majors, cover some crosses. Gold's got a nice pattern, so we'll dive into a lot. Get started. Risk disclaimer. Read it over. And let's go. So Nasdaq, right? Nasdaq's still nothing doing. We jump down to the 1 hour chart, and you're making this consolidation up here at your quarterly R2. What you would like to see on the 1 hour chart is a pop above the top with some divergence, and then you would like to be immediately rejected and come right back through this structure, right? So if you're looking for a sell, you'd be looking for something like this. So markets are closed tomorrow for Juneteenth, so this will probably come Thursday. But you'd be looking for something like this: a move up, immediately get rejected, come through this structure, and then correct underneath the structure, and you're going to fill this gap. All right, so it's kind of what you'd be looking for on Nasdaq. We don't have it yet. You don't have any kind of a sell set up in the 1 hour, so that is Nasdaq. Cover gold next, right? So gold, 4 hour chart. You're just correcting, right? So, and I'll clear these indicators off for a minute. And if you're going to go for a sell, right, you're just correcting right here. You're making a B wave up. You're going to come down for a C. You're making a flat correction right here. And then you'll probably come up for one more wave. All right. And then your X wave is complete. And right. And we talked about this WXY structure. And that's all you're doing. You're building out the X wave now. So you're building out the X wave, and you can expect your X wave to look like this, right? And then after that, you're getting another move down, right? Is it going to throw you another flat, or is it going to throw you a zigzag? Could throw you a zigzag like this, or it can come all the way up to the top, throw you another flat, right? Just throw you flat like this, and then right, you're making a W XY structure, right? Like same thing we drew up back up here. You're just correcting till July, and we'll see what happens in July, right? After you complete this WXY, you could then make an X wave back up to the top of this structure, or you can go impulsively. So we'll see. But if you want to take a sell on gold, you're basically looking for this C leg down right now. All right, we'll zoom in. You're basically looking for this piece. So if B wave comes up, you're going to be sitting right in between your pivots and stuff, so you can go after this wave down. All right, I would take profit once you break these lows right here. So, and then all this would just be what on the 4 hour chart: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 swing sequence, right? Now your X wave is complete, and you're going correcting more for a Y wave, all right? So, I mean, is there the possibility that this flat correction also takes off and maybe we run to the 1618? So, right, you measure this to the bottom of this, and maybe we get an impulsive move to the 1618. So, if you want to buy the bottom of this complete flat, you could do that as well. If you want to sell this, you could sell that. So, that's how I would play gold, but I do think you're just still in this. You're in this channel right now, so building out a larger WXY structure. CAD, right? CAD on the 4 hour chart. We're looking for this. I put the video out yesterday about dollar CAD lower time frame structures. So if this down here, this pivots your 1618 of this wave, right? So if we measure this wave to here, your 1618 comes into play down here, and then if you measure your A wave to the top of that, right? It lines up with your 100, and then you got that weekly order block. So, all right. So are we doing that, or this thing could still go and break the top? So you're either going to work your way down slowly to the low, which is the bottom of this channel, right? We talked about this channel. You'll be at the bottom of the channel at that point, and you're looking to push away. You're looking to push away fast. So, all right. And so this is, you're just correcting right now in the middle of the channel. So we can make this, or we can make, you could still do this, right? This is just a B wave, and you can still get a move like this and a flat like this. So the question is, are we getting this flat, or are we getting this flat? And it doesn't really matter, because all you're worried about is the bottom of the channel. You're going to be looking to buy the bottom of the channel either way, right? And until we see consolidation at the bottom of the channel, until we see a sideways move and some consolidation, then we're not expecting to go down to the daily 200. If we start getting this, and then these lows get taken out down here, now we're coming. Now we have a high probability of coming down to that daily 200. All right, and the bottom of this structure. So till we see this, there's nothing to worry about, and you're either in this flat or the other flat I showed you. But it doesn't even matter, because you're just buying every time you want to buy at the bottom of the channel. Euro, you got a reaction at that, right? Your 50, your 618, the retrace of this impulse. So, and that's all. That's what you got right now. So you got a reaction, and you're just kind of sitting here. So, uh, not much to do, right? You're either selling here, or you're selling your 34 and you're saving some money for your 200, right? And you're looking for a continuation to the downside for right now. Not much else to do on Euro, so, but I wouldn't expect it to get past this level. And if you took a shot on your 34B, then you got a reaction. And are you going to get continuation, or are we just going to build out something a little larger right here? So are we going to build out something a little larger and then drop? Flat correction. So like I said, if you're in it and you saved room for your 200, you should be good, because now you're looking to get another piece up here at the 200, right? So you got a piece here, you can get another piece here, and you just don't want to see it close above these highs. So, and you're sitting good for this impulse down right here. All right, so that is euro dollar. And so that's why, right? Sometimes it's good to cost average in when you're coming up to a 34. You got your 200, and you're on like the 4-hour chart or the 1-hour chart. So, like, if you cost average in, you could still, a lot of times, even if you're wrong, you can get out for break even if you see the structures starting to change. So, it doesn't mean you have to be right on this trade, and this way you don't have to take a stop out on this trade. So if you cost average in, little here, gives you more wiggle room, right? A little more stress free. Are you going to make the RR you would if you jump down to the 15-minute right here? But no, but it's more trading, right? More chart time. So sometimes it's better to just step out, place a couple orders, forget about it. Aussie's going, right? If we look at Aussie on the daily chart, we've got what? We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3. So this move right here could be impulsive, and we could be taking out these highs. So daily chart, if I'm trading the daily chart, this is an entry. And you don't want to see it close below this low. And a lot of times you will hit 1.5 to 1. So basically, if you're a daily chart trader, you would take this entry. You wouldn't want to see it close below that low, and there's a high probability you're going to hit 1.5 to 1. All right, so you could take buy setups in the lower time frame. 4 hour chart, wait for a 4 hour 34B. You can jump down to the 1 hour, take a 1 hour 34B, and you can use this target right here. It's also your quarterly R1. So I would look for continuation in Aussie. You are inside of a daily buy setup that triggered today. All right. So that is Aussie, right? New Zealand's kind of hanging around here too. You got the stack. I do like New Zealand too. New Zealand looks like it wants to continue. 4 hour chart on New Zealand. You're getting a 4 hour 200B now, potential double bottom, and you just don't want to see a daily close below this level. All right. So this is actually not a bad 4 hour 200B. It could wiggle. It could wind up making a double bottom down here, which, and then you go. So, but this is a valid bullish 200 entry candle, right, on the 4 hour chart. So, and you'd be looking to come after these highs. So, even if you're going to come up in a B wave, right? So, even if you're going to work your way up and make some kind of a messy B wave back to your quarterly R1, even if you're just building out a larger structure right here, right? So you should get a B wave up to your quarterly R1, and you got a 4 hour buy set up now. Clear this off. And not a bad entry, right? And you've got one right here. You've got an impulse up, and then you've got a 3 wave structure down, and now you're getting the impulse up. So you are looking to come back after these highs. So it's not a bad trade. 1 hour. If you want, wait for the 1 hour to set up. Right? You can take a 1 hour, wait to catch something on the 1 hour. You can reduce your risk a little bit. And that is that. Nothing to do on pound, right? We got pound rate decision on Thursday, so just stay away from pound. Dollar yen, right? Dollar yen 4 hour chart. Let's measure this. Comes up here. We should get continuation to this 100 and try and make a double top up here, but technically this could be over, right? You got A, B, C. We're looking for this B wave up here, and we're looking for a strong impulse down. So nothing to really do right now on dollar yen, but we are looking for this impulse down. And we're in, cover some of these crosses real quick. We talked about this entry yesterday on Aussie CAD, right? Because you had a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then now this could be an impulsive move on up. So we entered the close of this candle yesterday, and we didn't want to see a close below these pivots, right? So that's your trade, and you're in it. So, and it's the same thing, right? So technically, this is a buy setup, and on the daily chart, you have a very high probability. There's a very high probability that you'll hit 1.5 to 1 if you were to take this trade, right? If you were to take this trade on the daily chart, this would be your risk, and this is 1.5 to 1. So there's a good chance you're going to rally up to here. So you don't have to take it on the daily. If you want, you can drop down to the lower time frame, 1 hour chart, and you're looking for 1 hour 34Bs on Aussie CAD. And you could take, and then you want to put it to break even and see if we rally up to your weekly R2 up here, and you're 1.5 to 1. So that is that. Daily chart. Aussie Swiss. do like some of these Swiss pairs for bounces here. Even if we're gonna, right, because if we step out here to the weekly chart, we are bearish, right? And you're coming off your quarterly R2, but a lot of times you'll make at least a double top up here on the weekly chart. So a lot of times before you drop, it'll come up and make that double top at least. So when we drop down to the daily chart, I do kind of like this, right? Because you're below the 8 this whole time, right? It's you're kind of below the 8 the whole time. And I like New Zealand Swiss a little better, but I could definitely see us coming back up here for this double top. And it's a little more pronounced in the 3-day chart, right? So I'll go to the 3-day chart, and what you'd be looking for is a 3-day candle that kind of looks like this. And then that would basically confirm that we're going back up for at least a double top. But let's check out New Zealand Swiss, because I like this one. And you're running into the 618. All right, so let me clear these drawings off and stuff, right? So you're running into this now for this potential running flat. All of this is potentially your B wave, and you're coming down for a C. And when we look at this thing, when we put our indicators on, right? You tagged your pivot, you got a reaction, and it's the same thing. We're looking for a double top up here at the 200. So when we drop down to the daily chart, I do like the fact you're coming into your 618 potential running flat, and I would at least be looking for a double top. Now we don't have a trigger on this yet, so there is no buy setup, but I probably will be taking a shot on this on our first bullish candle down here on the 618. So we'll see. I kind of like this for at least a double top off of your 3-day 200. Right, 3-day 200 up here, and if we step out to the weekly chart, you got a 200 all the way up here. So, and I like the potential of this running flat and a little continuation. But this trade isn't quite ready yet. But I think we want to buy the potential bounce right here. All right, especially because you're 200, you're 89, you're 34 stacks. So any bullish close, right? Any bullish close above the 8 at this point, you're still stacked on your daily chart. And coming off the 618, and like I said, worst case scenario, we're looking for the double top, but we could rally all the way up to our weekly 200, which is this quarterly R2. So we're not ready yet, though. We'll see what happens on that. And what else do we got here? Euro yen, we're still just sitting here. All right, you got a reaction off your 100. So I did sell this 100, 169.82, which is where I wanted to have a sell order. And we're looking at this all as a running flat, right? Here's your A, here's your B, and this is a potential C wave. Here's your potential C for the running flat, and we're going down. And it's either going to work or it's not, because this is either a running flat or it's not. If it's a running flat, then you're going to get a 10 to 1, because you're coming all the way down to your daily 89. All right, so you're looking at like a 10 to 1, and that's pretty much the trade, right? So that's the good thing about understanding patterns. Sometimes you can get great risk to reward if you understand where a pattern should end, or where and which high it shouldn't take out. You shouldn't even wick past this high. If this is an A, a B, C running flat, you're not even going to wick past this, or it's not a running flat. So we're looking for a drop on Euro Yen, and to see if this is a running flat. If it's not a running flat, then I'm stopped out. No big deal. But if it is a running flat, you make 10 to 1. All right. Eurozar. I really like this one too. I like this trade right here. And you're coming into your 100 now. And you're coming outside of that quarterly R2. So I'm looking for Eurozar to snap back here pretty violently. And clear these indicators off for a second. Right? What do you have right now? So you got this impulse down, right? And then you get a straight impulse up. And all this price action here is inside of this impulse. All right, so here's your A. Here's your A. Here's your B. And you just broke the lows down here for the C. All right, and you're tagging the 100. So if we measure all of that, right, you're tagging the 100 now. And so we're looking for 100% of this wave. We're looking for an impulse straight up, right? You're looking for an impulse now. Straight up to complete this flat, all right? And you're completing this flat. That's just correcting this impulse, all right? So remove that, and this is a trade that I am going to be taking. Here's my risk, all right? And when we put our indicators back on, I'm looking at about a 5-to-1 up to this 100 in your quarterly R2. So you've got next quarter's S1 down here. You're already past your quarterly R2. And I like this zone for a snapback rally. I'm looking for this impulse straight up. Very similar to this one right here. You're looking for a similar impulse to that. All right. Dollars are. All right. We were in dollars are. 4-hour chart. We took 2 entries. We had an 8-hour entry here. And then we took this on the 4-hour chart. We put these trades to break even when we broke these highs. And we got stopped out for break even. But we were looking for the larger move up. We were looking to come take out these highs. But it just so happens you're still in this C wave down. Just going to tag the 100. This is going to be another trade once we get down here to this 100. You're looking for a snapback rally up to your quarterly R2. And all this is flat correction, right? So this trade is going to be setting up soon. I do like Eurozar right now. And that's pretty much that. Pound Oz, right? So we were in Pound Oz from right here. And our stop was below that structure. Dump Pound Oz. Pound Oz is a break-even trade. And there's nothing to do on this now because you wanted to see this go. You wanted to see this come out. You wanted to see it make the double bottom off the 200, break out a structure, and go. You didn't want to see it fall apart. So if we're going to buy again, we have a new structure. We have a structure now, right? So let it come out of structure. We'll take our first higher low after the break of structure if we're still going to get this impulse up right here. So it's looking like it could still make an impulsive move. But we'll take the first higher low after break of structure. We were simply looking for this, right? Just looking to come take out these highs and looking at this as an A, a B, a C. So, and you're falling apart, but it still can be a zigzag correction. All right. So there's nothing to do right now though on Pound Oz. So that's pretty much that, right? Did I miss anything? Not really. You're looking for buy setups, continuation. You're looking for buys in New Zealand CAD, right? Did I cover New Zealand CAD? I don't think so, but New Zealand CAD, this is a nice trade as well, right? So daily chart, we talked about this one yesterday. Now we don't have a signal yet on the daily chart because we don't have a close above the 8. But this is a nice trade because you're breaking out of this structure, right? You broke this structure, and this would be your first daily pullback after the break of structure, really after the 834 cross. So this could be your first pullback, and next quarter we do have pivots all the way up here. So I think we can get some nice trend continuation on this. I'm just waiting for a daily signal on NZD CAD. And maybe a double bottom down here off the 200. So something like that. So we'll see. This is going to be a buy real soon, NZD CAD, for trend continuation. And it would be your first daily 34B, all right, after the break of structure. So, and then at that point, we'd be targeting our quarterly R2 and come take out these highs. So, nothing to do quite yet. See if we can get a better pullback. We'll see if it stays below the 8 for a couple more days. And that's going to be a real nice buy setup. So, let's see if we can hit this 34 on the daily chart. All right, that's all I got. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor and hit thumbs up. Subscribe. Have a good one.